here to a very special edition of the Bobcat Buzz, as we are here in, we call it a roundtable discussion, now we're on a straight table discussion, so we're happy to be here with you for the Bobcats inside of Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse here on James Street in Syracuse, New York. You know that we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse for all of their athletics and to represent the school here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. I am joined, and I'll go right down the line here, by Evan Reynolds, as well as Maximo Santos, Alex Garcia, and Head Coach Shawn Peake of the baseball team in their inaugural season. And I like that the baseball's right here with me because I gave you all my word, if you remember, in the studio, I had you all sign the baseball in the first conversation that we had. That signed baseball with the Bryant Stratton logo sits over my right shoulder every day in the studio, right there with the Bobcat bobblehead. So much appreciation for the connection we've had already, and happy to have you guys back. And Maximo, happy to have you in person because just had you on the show. So how's everybody doing?
Really good. Good.
Doing well as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have a lot to discuss because we are in this inaugural season, and I know that the last time we talked, it was just about getting, like when we were all together, it was about getting to the season, getting to the games, actually knowing what it feels like. Evan, I'm going to start with you. To get onto the field, put on the jersey, and know that it was a real thing. What was that moment like for you?
It was very surreal for me. This isn't my first rodeo in college. However, with this group of guys, it was super special. It was a feeling that I'll never forget, and I'm definitely going to hold this experience with me for the rest of my life, for sure.
Maximo, for you, when the first game finally happened, what did it feel like?
It was something crazy, you know. First time playing college baseball, and with the guys too, just something that I would never forget.
Alex, you and I spoke about the desire to get onto the field and finally see it happen. You have been through multiple games now to know that it is a real thing and not just an idea anymore, just what that's been like for you.
Super real. I'll never forget going to Boston and getting off the bus with the boys, taking the walk down to the field. It was something that you can never forget, you know, doing the warm-ups, taking BP, something that you can never have again, man. It was a great feeling.
Coach Peake, we've seen many games now.
Yep.
You and I talked about putting the schedule together, trying to find a field, everything that went into more than a year of preparation. Now that we are working through the season and that it's real baseball, how have you experienced it?
It's been pretty amazing, honestly. It's been just cool to watch these guys learn, grow, play their first game, do their first this, do their first that. All of it has been, you know, amazing. These guys, especially, everybody, the whole team's been working ridiculously hard to try to just get better every day. But really, it's been super special just to see these guys get out there and finally do it.
Yeah, you know, and this, to me, it's been an honor and a privilege because this will only happen one time. There's only going to be one inaugural season, one inaugural roster, an inaugural coach. I mean, everything about what we're doing, win, lose, or draw, this is historic. And do you guys feel the weight of that? Do you feel that in your veins when you're out there?
Yeah or no. I mean, the first couple of games, it definitely was in the back of my mind that, hey, you know, this is the first opportunity to be the first at just about everything in every category. But once I kind of got my jitters out, the first 2 or 3 games, it kind of was smooth sailing from there. Like I said previously, I'm not new to the college scene, so This was just kind of like another year for me.
Alex, for you, do you think about at all the fact that win or lose, you are a part of history literally every day this season?
I think about it. It's a good feeling, but at the end of the day, we just want to go out there and win, play some games. You know, of course we think about we're the first season, the first hit, the first K, the first everything. Of course we think about that, but at the end of the day, I did. I mean, it's just we just want to go out there and compete and have fun. I mean, we want to go out there and win, man. So yeah, of course we think about the inaugural season. That's like one of the coolest things about being here. Like, but we just want to win. We want to play hard.
Maximo, like you said, this is the first time playing college ball for you. To have a first time playing college ball while you're making history, what's that been like for you?
I mean, I just want to do the same thing that I do every time. Just enjoy the game, play the game, you know, as hard as I can, just compete and get a W every time.
That first win finally happened. Coach, bring me into it. I know we talked about it a bit, but now that you've had some more time to reflect on it.
Honestly, all three of these guys were a huge part of it. Pitcher, catcher, right fielder, made a big play for us. Obviously, 7 innings on the mound and 7 innings behind the plate. You know, a couple hits out of all of them, and hey, it was a special, special day, just up and down the lineup. I know we talked about it a little bit already, but it was super special just to finally get one in the books after how hard they've been working. About time.
Alex, for you, that first victory, fill in the blank for me, it felt like what?
It felt exhilarating is the good word to say. I remember Max finishing out in the top of the 7th, I believe. I remember we coming down the line up the pitcher's mound, giving each other high fives. I mean, we haven't been able to do that season yet up to that point. So I'll never forget seeing Brian, our shortstop, at the front of the line, giving him a high five and giving him a hug. Like all the conversations that we had in the room, all the conversations that we had in the car, like it just came to fruition finally after all that time.
Evan, Coach had said to me that you were kind of getting everybody together because you've been through it, like you said, you played college ball, that you're like, this is what we do, get in the line, do all this stuff. To be the person to say, hey, it's time for us to have that victory lap, so to speak. What was that like?
I had a bunch of mixed emotions, but personally for me, the most notable, it felt like we were finally a family. We started off in the fall. We've been building something together for a very long time, and it was just amazing to be able to put all of our work onto paper and then actually come together and celebrate as a family the entire win. I mean, sure, you definitely have to win. You don't have to, but you like to win in certain styles, and there are certain ways to go about it. But the biggest thing is that we got the win, and that was most notable and most important for me.
You said you had mixed emotions. What was mixed?
I was happy. I was sad that honestly it took a little longer than expected, but I was happy that it happened. A little confused that guys didn't know necessarily how to go about winning a college baseball game. But other than that, I mean, yeah, that's where like the mixed emotions come from.
I mean, he started to call me out of nowhere. Max, come here.
Yeah. After he won and he struck out the last batter, I kind of saw him and he didn't know where to go on who to say hi to and who to give a high five to.
I was saying,
Right. He was looking up at God like, thank you.
Yeah. So you're like, when you're done talking to God, then this is what we have to do.
Right.
Okay. All right, Max. I want to go to that though because a lot of players and coaches will say all thanks to God. Some people mean it. Some people don't. Why is faith important to you?
I mean, like I said in the last interview, it just came from my family. Since I was a little baby, you know, I used to go to church a lot and things like that. And I don't know, it's something that I got in my heart.
I appreciate that. I also realize the fact that I am wearing a nice Bryant Stratton college t-shirt, but I don't have one of these. So
He needs one of these.
Yeah, I need one of those. What else? I need my jersey still.
Yeah.
So guys, can you make sure you get on Coach about that?
Well, I got you.
So, because I got the Evan Reynolds bracelet, I got the shirt, I got the hat, I got the baseball in the studio, but these are too fresh for me.
Yeah, you need one of these.
These are the travel suits for the boys, and yeah, we'll have to see what we can do.
Yeah, he always says we'll see what we can do.
Hey, like I said, we gotta get through the season, then.
I feel you. No, listen, it's all in good fun.
Absolutely.
But to put on the Bobcat paw and to have the Bobcat face on, what does that mean to you guys? Evan, I'll start with you. Just what this means, because when you carry something on your chest, it's got to hold some weight.
For me, it means family. For me, it means all these dudes came out here, dedicated the last couple of months of their lives and the next couple of weeks of their lives to one common goal. And that's why I wear this with pride, and is because all of my guys do the same thing. And it just reminds me that I'm part of something bigger than myself.
Alex, for you, when you're wearing that paw or that face of a Bobcat, what does it mean?
I mean, it means everything, really. I mean, this is my first college experience. I was getting the opportunity to play past high school ball. I mean, it's like carrying anything that you wear. It's important. It means something. It matters. It should mean everything to you, and it means a lot to me. It means almost everything to me. This is something that I will never be able to do again. My first, baseball season in college, I can never get that back. So wearing something like the Bobcat man it's important to me. I was given an opportunity, and I appreciate it always.
You said it means almost everything to you. Why is that? That's even more weight on top of what we were talking about. Why is it almost everything?
Because there's a lot of important things in my life, a lot of important things that I cherish to me. My family, my friends, everything. I mean, it means almost everything, but it can't mean everything because there's other things in life than baseball. It really is. So just gotta live. You gotta live for everything, man.
Max, being a Bobcat, what does that mean?
I mean, this is not just a logo. It's not a simple logo. It's family, you know. We've been working hard together, and we gotta represent that. You know, we gotta just go out there and just show what does that mean for us.
Shawn, this whole team, from beginning to now, where have they grown? Where have you seen this team develop?
The development's been incredible, honestly. A lot of these guys, you know, their first experience as, you know, freshmen going in, you don't always expect to go play your freshman year, and having all of these guys be freshmen and, you know, not having those growing pains and trying to work through some stuff, the development's been honestly pretty much unreal. Just even in the last few days of the development, since we've been able to get outside more, that has been nothing but from Monday to yesterday has been three different days. I'll say that for sure. And these guys have been just getting better every day, just, you know, continuing to just listen and learn and just develop, and not just on the field but off the field too, just being, you know, good people, the little things that they're doing around campus, all that kind of stuff. But that's really what it's been all about.
You know, and I've seen the videos that, you know, you posted of having practices on concrete in a parking lot. What has that done to, you think, make this team gritty or appreciative?
Gritty and appreciative of what we have when we get home, what we have, you know, doing this, doing that. But it definitely, if we can go play we can go do double cuts in a parking lot and learn something and get different information and things that we haven't done, and it doesn't matter where we are. It's in a parking lot, it's in a park, it's in a baseball field, it's in wherever we need to go. We've done all kinds of things. It doesn't matter. You can get better everywhere. You can get better in your bedroom. We talk about it all the time. We get better in your bedroom by just doing mirror drills, doing this, doing that, just standing in front of a mirror. You can get better anywhere. You just gotta be able to if you put the effort in, you can get better anywhere.
Max, how has Coach made you better?
He just gives, you know, the confidence that we need, and just always like talking to us. I mean, on me, he's talking to me like saying, oh, you can do a lot of things in your room. You can not just be out there just trying to hang out, just playing video games, just do something that's gonna make you get better every day.
What about you, Evan? How has Coach had an impact on you already?
So me personally, I've never actually had a coach before, especially a head coach that was a catcher who played my position. So for me, it's been a blessing. I've learned so many new tricks, tips, little quirky things that will keep me not only mentally locked into the game, but physically locked into the game. He's one of the first people to pick up if like my footwork's off or if I'm doing the little tedious things wrong. So it's been a blessing to have him in my corner, definitely overwatching me and seeing what I've been doing.
Yeah, and the uniqueness of that, the
Right.
parallels.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex? What's Coach done for you?
For me personally, when I came here, my swing was underdeveloped, my body was underdeveloped. A lot of little things that can make you into a better baseball player. My swing wasn't that good. He helped me with my swings becoming a lot better day by day, just trying to improve the swing, staying through the zone. All little things. I had just a couple little things that weren't there. You tweak them, and now you're a better ball player. Same with the body. When we went to work out, just being able to even work out more, getting the strength, something that I definitely could use, something that I improved on, something he helped me with.
So this season has been, like we talked about, so special, so unique, and I know that obviously you want to win every game, but this is the first time this program has existed. It's the first time you guys are together. It's a whole lot of firsts and a whole lot of growing pains. Do you feel in this season, can you feel that you're building toward the future? Can you already see like, hey, what we're doing today is going to pay off later on, Evan?
Yeah, I can definitely say that. You know, when you go to work and you work really hard for something, you might not get the results right away.
Yeah.
But I know everybody in this room has heard the term, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
That's what we're kind of starting as. We're starting from nothing. We're trying to build Rome, and it's definitely not going to happen overnight. So yeah, day by day, practice by practice, pitch by pitch, game by game, we can definitely feel and see that we're building something and we're getting somewhere with it.
It's clear. It's very clear.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell.
Max, what's been your favorite part of the season so far?
Enjoying everything with the boys.
Coming to my house and cooking plantains.
Wait a minute, you're making plantains for the team and not for me?
Right?
I didn't get that either.
Wait a minute, Max. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't get a jumpsuit. I don't get a plantain. Wait a minute. So down in Florida, there's a place called Tucasa, and we go there, and they like for $8 they will fill up rice, meat, plants, everything in this thing for like $8 that you're eating for like 3 days. But I have friends that hate plantains, so I would eat all of theirs. I started cooking them at home, finally made a good batch of them. I'm proud of it. So is there something special you do with yours?
Nah, I just put love in it.
Okay, you just put love in it.
Have you heard of tostones?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what he does specially with plantains, is he doesn't just cook them and leave them as plantains, he slices them up, he crushes them, and then fries them twice to make them tostones.
I
So
can
they're
use the
like
anything
little-
with it.
Oh,
Can do
man.
anything with it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we need to have dinner at some point soon.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You guys gotta be the next one.
Yeah.
Alex, your favorite part of the season so far?
Our first win, 100%. I mean, that's probably the easiest answer to give, but it's
Yeah.
truly it's really just our first win. It's just something I can't forget, man. I think about it a lot. You know, when we're having our downs, I think of the win
Yeah.
because that was an up. You know, it's the first year. There's gonna be plenty of ups. There's gonna be plenty of downs, but I can always go back to that first win. All the work that the boys put in, not even just me or coach or the whole team. It was a group effort. We don't win with not everyone doing their part that day. So that first one was huge for me.
Alex, why does this team like each other? I mean, you could be teammates, but it doesn't mean you're friends. So why do you guys like each
That's
other?
a good point. Nah, it's because we're family, man. We some of us live off campus, but even the ones who don't live on campus, like Ev, we get together. We hang out. After our first loss in Boston, we went to Evan's place and we looked at the film and we looked at every strike that we took, everything that we needed to do to get better, where we were on the field, the little niche things that we needed to work on. Like, he pointed that out. Like, he pointed everything out so that we could get better, so that we could get our first win. I mean, you're right. Like, that's a good point, but we're definitely all friends and family at the same time, man. We just get together a lot.
Do you feel like, in a way, you're kind of coaching on the field a little bit?
Yeah and no. Yes, in the sense of, because I have the experience, because I have been in college before, I can point these guys in the right direction. However, I'm still working on myself day in and day out. I'm nowhere near perfect, so therefore I can't just claim that role because I'm not really all the way there, but I do have some insight for these guys, and yeah, I definitely try my best, but no, I'm not at the coaching aspect. I'm not there yet.
Why do you think that this is, you talk about family, you've mentioned it a couple times, what feels like family?
For starters, I mean, if we go down to the cafeteria, I don't know if you've ever been down there throughout the day, but we're the only team on campus who sits together and actually enjoys meals, sits down and just enjoys each other's company. Everybody, from one end of the table to the other. There's not a single person who isn't there. And I live off campus and don't even have a meal plan, so I'll pay for some food just to sit down with the guys and enjoy a nice conversation and a meal. There isn't a single team on campus who does that.
Max, what does that mean to you, that you guys break bread together?
I mean, everything, because that's gonna get us where we wanna be. So it's just the confidence that we got in each other, the good chemistry that we got is what make us, get the first W, as Alex said. So,
Coach, what you hope this team would be like, feel like, and look like compared to what they are? You hear them talk about family, eating together. Have they gone above what you were hoping?
Yeah, way above it. I've even had somebody today tell me that, Coach Alex, he's been here for 11 years. He's like, I walk downstairs in the cafeteria and I've been wanting to get my team to do that for 11 years, and these guys do it every single day.
Yeah.
That's a long time, especially in year one, that they're able to do that right away. It's pretty special to really see these guys, how close they are. I try to make it a point, these guys know that. I sit down there with them once or twice a week, eat with them as well. I gotta stop eating the pizza though. That's hurting me though. But no, just jokes aside, these guys, it's something that we do. We do it every single day. We eat together. We go to practice together. It's like, all right, I'll eat with you guys, and then I'll see you guys in an hour for practice, and then we're leaving.
Right.
Even after we gotta get done with this, it's like, all right, boys, let's go. We're going to practice, and we've been together like all day. So it's special to have these guys around.
From playing to coaching, what was it? Is this more of a family than you've experienced? Is it similar to what you experienced?
I've had similar experiences for sure, and that's why I try to make it that way. As much as I possibly could to tell them, guys, if you're more of a brotherhood, if you're more with some of my teammates that I'm still friends with for life, Absolutely, these guys I'm hoping are gonna be like that for life, and that's where I really see already that I know these guys aren't just gonna, once they leave here, graduate, all that, they're not just gonna not talk to each other anymore. That they're gonna talk to each other still every single day, like I do with some of my friends. And it's amazing to see that it's happened so quick, honestly.
Definitely go to the yard.
Definitely. He said we're definitely going to the ER, Dominican Republic.
Yeah, again, where's my ticket? So, but with that being said, we are gonna jump into rapid fire. For those of you that have known my show for many years, it is our opportunity of getting to know each other, asking questions about literally anything. So it could be baseball, could be anything in the world. We have to answer the questions. We will have the opportunity to go up and down the line here. They'll ask me, I will ask them. Coach, you get to ask me the first question.
All right, let's see. So now we've done, we've done a bunch of interviews lately, you know?
Yeah. You said you've been working on this.
I got another one that I'm gonna say.
Okay, all right.
I got one for you, then. I got one for you.
You got one for me? Go ahead.
All right, so it's getting warm. Summertime's coming up. What's your favorite summertime activity? Favorite of above all else?
Probably swimming,
Swimming.
because I feel like I was born in Atlantis. I'll stay in the water all day. So I'd say swimming or playing basketball. It's where I shut my brain off. So I just go out to the court. I don't need anything there. I just need basketball, and I will. And I never leave the court without a made shot. I have to make the last
Love
one.
that.
No, they-
Love that.
And I don't care how hot, cold it is. I played in the. I literally had sleet hitting me in the face while I was playing outside. So it doesn't matter to me.
I think these guys are all jonesing to play basketball since we can't do it right now, or I don't let them play basketball right now.
Well,
we talk about it quite a
when
bit.
we can, we will. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
That's my word?
Yeah, oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
We're all in on that.
Okay, so Alex, I'll come back to you for this. I like the question. What is one food that your family makes that you have missed like crazy?
Rice. Rice, so bad, I miss rice so bad. Like we serve rice here,
Yeah.
but it's not mommy's rice. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not mommy's rice.
What does she do to it? What does she put some? What does she
I don't know. I just eat it. I just
Extra love.
Extra love like that too. Like I just go down there, I say thank you, I appreciate it. I really can't wait. Like that's definitely rice. Rice is the answer. Like definitely
Okay.
been missing that.
All right, Max, what do you got for me?
What's the most thing that you enjoy of your job?
It's building bonds with people. I mean, it's literally, my world is so big and small. Big in the sense of there's so many people I've gotten to connect with by doing what I love. Small that I honestly feel like I can touch the other end of the earth like this because of those connections, because of those relationships. And it's so rewarding. I mean, I'll tell this story, not just because you're here, but I got sick a few months ago, and I got like this weird type of sickness. It was like it attacked my vocal cords, it attacked my throat, my jaw. I'm still going through it, and I was like sinus infection. I didn't feel good. I had like red in my throat. I just felt awful, and I was messaging back and forth with Evan, and he was like, "What do you need? Send me your address." He came to the house in a snowstorm. He blew a tire. He waited over an hour for AAA. That didn't deter him. Drove to my house, dropped off every medicine you could think of, a huge thing of water, and I literally thanked him at the door. I said, "You don't have to do it." And he said, "Yes, I did." I shut the door. I got down on my knees in my kitchen. I looked up at God, and I literally cried. I cried. And I called my parents, and I said, "There's still good people in the world." That's my favorite part of this, is like, I want you guys to win. Of course I do. But I love y'all. Like, I want to come to your weddings. I want to meet your kids. I want to, I want you to call me when you're crying. I want you to call me when you can't stop laughing. Like, what people should know about me, and I hope they do, is once you know me, you know me. You need me, you got me. You call me. My number is always on. And people can vouch for that. Within the last couple of days, I had a friend messaging me, basketball player, at 1 o'clock in the morning, because he's worried about this and that in his future. And I stayed up until he was okay. So, thank you for the question, Max. My question back to you, Max, is on a different note. I'm going to stay with food. so I'm part Hispanic, part Italian. If you were going to make me a meal and you could pick any 4 things to put on the plate, what would you put?
I would ask you first, what do you like?
I'm
And
not
then just-
picky.
Not picky.
Not picky at all.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
So then what's your favorite? Yeah, I was gonna say what's.
I can probably take it to, you know, to the Dominican side, so.
Okay?
Yeah, probably mango, can make you rice. Cheese, I can add cheese on it,
Okay.
and salami, you know what salami?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You can put some plantain.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the mango is over there.
Yeah, okay, so that's, I got that over there.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Evan, go ahead.
Most notable thing that has happened to you in the last 365 days. It could be in work, in a friendship, it could be getting a new car, it could be achieving something, kind of really anywhere. You can pick where you want to go with it. But the most notable thing that's happened to you in the year of 2022.
I would say there's so many things, and I would say more than anything else, I have learned how to deal with life better. I've learned how to deal with people's negativity. There's a lot of hate in the world,
Right.
and I've learned how to deal with that better to the point where I'll call it out, but I don't need to. And I said to my dad, I was like, I was sticking up for a kid this week, and I said I made a mistake because I wanted to stick up for him, but I engaged. You could say it on the show, but I engaged people on social media. You don't engage people on social media because people that are going to attack a stranger and be mean, they're not going to stop. I mean, I've had 2-3 hour conversations back and forth just to like have logic and common like discourse and positivity, and people were like hell bent on like they want to be mad.
Right.
And so I think I've learned that silence doesn't mean weakness, it means peace. And I've tried to work on my peace a lot more. I could do better, a lot better. And I think work-wise, July 20th, 2022, my company turned 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And-
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
That's a big
That's
thing.
awesome.
That's a big thing.
So, I mean, I started, and the crazy thing about this year is in 2023, November 2023, I will be a 20-year broadcaster because I started when I had just turned 18.
Wow. Damn.
Wow.
So I can't even, in my brain, like fathom 20 years. And I want to do something really big. I want to have a really big party for it. But the 10 years for my company, they said, hey, if your company makes it a year, that's good. If you make it 3, if you make it 5, it means you're going to survive or you're going to succeed. And I never thought about it like that. I was like, year 1, 2, 3, 4. I was always building. 10 years, and it'll be 11 this year. I can't even, and what I've gotten to do and who I've gotten to meet. I mean, honestly, and I'm a guy who shows my emotion and I care about that, being honest. I could genuinely cry every single day because I feel like my grandparents who are all in heaven. I genuinely feel like, we talked about it, I feel like every day when I wake up, they're like, they pick me up and they go, I got you, baby.
Yep.
I got you. And I can feel their pride. I can feel when people hurt me, when I don't know if I did a good enough job, did these people listen, what about this? I can feel them like touch my chest and go, you're doing the right thing. Like, I got you. My dad said to me last night, I go, how do I know I'm doing the right thing? He said, you are. And I have the best people. I tell people this all the time. If anybody ever picked a war with me, my army is bigger than the Avengers. You would never even see my face.
Yeah.
That army's too big.
Right.
And I just love good people and conversation. I love seeing people happy. I love that. And I love making people laugh. And I laugh every day of my life. I call some friend, some family member, and I say something ridiculous, and we just have a really good time. So,
We've been laughing a lot lately.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Practice has been that.
Been a
Good.
good place to be.
It's been fun.
Been a good place to be.
Yeah.
So, all right, Evan. Since you did something so kind for me, what do you consider to be the kindest thing anyone's ever done for you?
Ooh. Wow.
Great question. That is a
Yeah,
great
it's
question.
not-
Great question.
I mean, there's so many
It went
years.
from food to something,
Yeah.
yeah. Now I'm maybe 23 years back in my
I'm thinking myself, I don't even know what to say.
Right? The nicest thing someone has ever done for me.
Yeah.
I know
I don't. It's hard to put a finger on one exactly.
Yes.
So I can give you one that's just coming to the forefront of my brain right now. Not to say that this is exactly the number one,
Yeah.
but it's definitely up there on my list.
Okay.
I've met a friend in the last 3.5 years. He goes by the name of Terry Daniels. He's a great athlete, great kid, great overall human being. Ironically enough, he went to OCC for a short period of time. He's from Auburn, New York, right around the corner.
Yeah.
We ended up being roommates at my last college, and this kid is one of them type of kids where it could be 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's a professional baseball player, by the way. He could be playing a game the following morning at 10 o'clock, and it's 3 a.m. I know if I call his phone and I really need to talk to him in a time of struggle and a time of need, he's picking that phone up 10 out of 10 times. And like you said not too long ago, you sat up with that basketball player and you stayed up to make sure he was okay. Same kind of concept. I've called this kid maybe 5-10 times in a time of real crisis where my world feels like it's flipped upside down and shaken to the point where I could be sick. And he's always there for me. Every single step of the way, every single time I need him, that kid is there. So I think I'm not the most notable or like most memorable time he's done something like that. I don't have a specific, but I can say that that is probably one of the more notable people in my life who do pick me up when I'm down, and shout out to you, brother.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's the connection that we have too. Also, how me and Evan met.
Yeah.
I coached Terry at OCC,
Yeah.
and then them becoming friends, and that was just our connection. Me and Terry also have, we still talk a lot, and we're still close. So it was just like, hey, bring another good person in with another good person, hopefully, and have something special, which we obviously do.
Yeah, I love that. And that's the thing, it's the mutual friend, you just keep bringing people together. What's your question, Coach?
All right, so you've been traveling a lot lately, right?
Yeah,
Here and there, you're
be
around.
on the road again soon,
Right,
yeah.
you'll be on. All right, where are you heading next?
Florida.
You always go there. That's something new. That's something new.
I'm going to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm, God willing, going to ride the ride, and right when I get off the ride, I'm going to go see the new movie. So I'm going to ride it, I'm going to live in the world, and then go see the new movie.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
So, all right. I'll say since January, where's the coolest place you've been? And since we always talk about food, what's the best place you ate at in that best place you've been?
Okay. So, well, I've never been on a cruise, and I went on a cruise. My parents are awesome, and I'm very close to them. My mom, for my birthday back in October, she got me a cruise. And she, being the mom that she is, she not only got me the cruise, she wrote a poem to tell me that she was getting me the cruise and read through it. And so she's like, you pick the dates and this and that. It's a Disney cruise because I'm a big kid. And so I would say that was really cool because I got to go to Cozumel, Mexico, and I got to go to the Bahamas for the first time ever to Castaway Cay. So that was fun. And the food was on the ship, and I had some good food like overall, but the food on the ship, I love seafood. And every day they had crab legs. And when you're on the ship, like the first day, I remember walking around going, like, where do I pay for this? And my mom was like, it's all inclusive. So I'm getting crab legs. One of the last days, I ate at least 30 shrimp. I think I had mercury poisoning, but it was really good. So, and I also thought it was cool when we got to Mexico that I drink Coke Zero sometimes, and it doesn't say zero sugar. It says sin azúcar. So I thought that was really cool. I took a picture of that. But yeah, I mean, and I got to literally swim with dolphins, and there was 3 things we got to do with them. So they give you a kiss, and then you touch their fins, and then they actually pull you like a jet ski. And so when the one gave me a kiss, she stayed on for a really long time. And I always feel like if you're doing good in your life, nature shows you, and if you're not, then nature does the opposite. And so she was really close to me, And then one of them came and got me and pulled me in, and it was so crazy. And then at the end, the guy goes, all right, everybody can get out of the water, like your experience is over. So my mom gets out, all these people that were on the trip were getting out. One of the dolphins came over to me and laid at my side, and I was just petting him. And he looked at me and he goes, you're a natural. He's like, they like you. And I just was sitting in the water with the dolphin.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That is
that would be,
awesome.
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what's the coolest thing you've ever done, Shawn?
I think this. Honestly, started a college baseball program.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Honestly, I have to say it's this easily. No, I don't think anything really compares. This is definitely the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it is a very cool thing. It's a very, very cool thing. Evan, I'll come back to you for the final question between you and I. So we'll go down the line, but what's your last one for me?
Last question for you. Where do you see yourself in 2-3 years from now?
I challenge myself all the time. So I'm sure that I think we're on like 10 to 13 different platforms, probably more. My stand-up comedy has always been in my show. It's always been in my life. I've had people since I was 10 years old that were like, please just get up on stage and talk about your ex-girlfriend. And so I think that, I actually said on the show recently this week, I said, our show is like a melting pot of so many different personalities, not inside of me, that's my ex-girlfriend. So like, I did say that. But no, I would say I would say comedy, I really want Sony and I pray to God that I have the opportunity, and I'll create it any way I can. I want Sony to let me work on a Spider-Man movie because I will blow it out of the water. And I'm so serious about it. So serious about it. I mean, Peter Parker got me through stuff, and the story of Miles Morales, both of them. I mean, it's everything, and it means so much to me. And I actually wrote a script in college of if I did the movie. I got to 88 pages, and I gave it to people who had no idea who Spider-Man was, and they're like, God, I wish I could watch this movie. And I was an extra in one of the movies before, and now, to have the opportunity, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's incredible.
So
That's incredible.
And because Andrew Garfield, because he is in the Marvel Universe now, technically so am I. So, but I would say there's a story I want to write with Andrew, because did you guys see No Way Home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so in No Way Home, we realized that he's a Spider-Man that's kind of lost his way. And he said, I got bitter, he got rageful, and you kind of believe that he stopped pulling his punches. So to tell the story of a Spider-Man that maybe killed somebody, maybe put someone in the hospital, maybe paralyzed somebody, and then to have the Venom symbiote attack him at a moment of vulnerability, and to allow me to tell the story of his dark days, his black hole, and his redemption, I want that. And give it to me. So I would say that's on my mind.
I love that answer. I love it.
You can
That's-
use this
that's
as
so
the
cool.
pitch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There is no way that Spider-Man would ever be in bad hands again if I did it. We'd be 9 deep with the same Spider-Man right now. We wouldn't be doing all these changeovers. So, in Garfield, I will take care of you. Know that. My final one for you, Evan. I'm gonna stick with movies. If you had a movie made about your life, what would you want the movie to be called, and who would play you? What actor?
Honestly, I would name the movie. It's already a name, so I am copywriting this a little bit or stealing something, but not really stealing it. Grown Ups is the name of the movie. I would go for myself. And I'd have to pick Adam Sandler all day, every day, 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So I went on this kick a few weeks ago where I wanted to watch. I decided to watch Adam Sandler movies, but I watched 3 serious ones. So I watched Sandy Wexler, which, by the way, and this is, people don't believe like God does these little things for you. I believe God finds me, and they're like, Dan, you're that important. I said, I think every kid to God is important, and he'll find you the way he finds you. I'm watching Sandy Wexler. The movie came out a couple of years ago, And here's Jennifer Hudson, who I didn't know was in the movie. She's singing in the studio, and this rapper comes up to her, and I go, it's Mace. And Mace is one of my favorite rappers of all time. And I'm like, this was 2020. And I watched Reign Over Me, which I had no idea that it's about a 9/11 widow.
Right.
That movie got you. And probably one of the best sports movies I've ever seen in my entire life is Hustle.
Okay.
Incredible
Hell yeah.
movie.
Hell yeah.
Incredible. But Grown Ups, I love that you picked it. Shows even more so how we have the same brain, Evan and I, a lot.
Yeah.
I keep saying to my friends, we're going to a cabin. But what I don't get is I was the romance, wanted to meet my girl when I was 5 years old in the sandbox, or 4 years old. They're all married, got kids, most of them. I'm the David Spade. And I never thought that would happen. I'm the David Spade who falls asleep in the closet and is like, what happened? So, I was like, so when we go on the trip, I'm going to be the single guy, but that's all right. It's a good answer, though. I like that.
Thank you. Ironically enough, Grown Ups was filmed where I'm from, if you didn't know.
I did
in
not.
Massachusetts, yeah.
What part?
That cabin's in Massachusetts. I don't know exactly where. I want to say a place called Amherst. I could be wrong, though.
If it is, that's really crazy. That's where my aunts live.
Yeah, Massachusetts all day.
Okay, I love it. Max, what's your last question? I love that we got grown-ups in here today. Yes, I always think about that movie.
I would like to, all of you guys answer my question, but it's like, if God is in front of you, what will you say to him?
Okay, go down the line. I'll go last.
I would ask him how my grandmothers are, just how they're doing. That would be my first question.
Alex?
My first question it might be a little rough to some people, but it's like, why do bad things happen to good people? And I've had this conversation with a lot of people who are like super like more religious than myself. And they give me answers, but at the end of the day, I'm not always satisfied with those answers. And which I feel like is rightfully so, because I always think of Kobe, a great guy, a great person. Not even just the athlete part of him. Even though he was a good athlete that people looked up to, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how he was as a father and as a person, all the things he did for everyone. He just went out in a fortunate way. Same with Roberto Clemente. Same with him. So that would be my question to God.
Evan?
I don't know if I would necessarily ask him a question. If I were to ask him a question, it would be along the lines of how is it loved one doing. But if God was in front of me, the first thing I'd probably say is I apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I'd like to, I'd like to be a different human being. Obviously, everyone would, but the older I get, the more mature I become, the more I realize my faults as a younger man. The more it kind of makes me regret some of the decisions and the things that I've made in my lifetime. And now that I am older, I can look back on them times and honestly say, like, I definitely regret some of the things that I did in my lifetime, some of the things I've said, some of the times that I've acted out of line.
That's a great answer.
All
I
that
should have said that.
So yeah, if he was in front of my face, I'd probably just start with I'm sorry.
I would definitely say the same thing, because he has gave us a lot of things that we haven't asked for,
Right.
and we're just doing like things that are not going his way. So
Yeah.
well, great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, all of you. I would say you've been a better friend to me than I've been to you. And it's never been out of a lack of love, but it's been selfish. And so I would say I'm sorry, too. I would say I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ever questioned you. I'm sorry that I didn't always listen. I'm sorry that I thought about myself above you. I'm sorry I put my ego before my spirit. And I would say thank you. I would say you have made me everything I am, and people want to give me credit, but I'm nothing without you. I don't deserve the credit, because I would not have had the courage to start my company. I would not have the knowledge, the wisdom, any of this stuff. None of it would come without a whole lot of love and a whole lot. I tell people all the time, God and I built this business out of thin air. I looked in front of me one day, sitting in a trench with God, and we just took the air and we started to mold it. And it was him and I. And people get really uncomfortable sometimes when I say it was God and I, and that's it. But you know what? I would say to God, I've never not talked about you, but I'm sorry that I let myself get uncomfortable with a world that doesn't want to know you anymore, because being uncomfortable makes me feel sinful. So I'm not going to be that way anymore. I would also take from Ed Sheeran the song Visiting Hours, where he said, I wish that heaven had visiting hours. so you could just go and visit the people that you love and spend some time with them. And he ends the song with saying, I would ask if I could bring them with me, and I know what you'd say, that you'd say no, and it's for the best, so I'm gonna live my life making sure that people know who you are. And so, yeah, I would tell God, I'm sorry, I love you, you mean everything to me, and I've never stopped talking about you, but I'm sorry that I let this world scare me into a place where I felt like I couldn't be me, because you are the only best friend I've ever had, and you are the only thing in my life that I would die for.
Great answer.
So, and I would happily die for God, any day, without question. So Max, that's a beautiful thing. I love being around people that have faith, so that I don't have to ask the question. I love when other people ask the question. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. So I would say to you, if you could take God around the world for a day, where would you want to bring God, and what would you want to show him?
I mean, he knows everything,
But if he said, take me on a journey that is just you and I, where would you take him? What would you do?
that's a great question.
Have to teach you how to throw harder.
Just, I don't know. I would like to just go out with him and like just show him like everything that's going on with my family. Like, so I can just like get an answer or just something that I can help my family to just, like all of us like get along. So I think that's what I would do.
Okay, come back to family.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, your question for me?
Oof, it's a tough one. You say the question is just me and him, just us two, or if we went somewhere, would it be like an everyday life? Like if I went to somewhere where it was a bad place and there was just
Whatever you want.
It's your question for him.
Yeah, it's your question for me. You
Oh,
can answer
oh.
the question, but it's...
Oh, question for you. What was your most memorable college experience?
Oh boy, that could go
And
any.
or did you go to college? 'Cause I don't know. If you went to college.
I noticed that pause.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Or your best college experience. Doesn't have to be something crazy.
No, it's fine. I realize that I'm a prankster. In a big way. Like I play pranks that drop mics on people. So if someone declares war with me, I have a lot of fun. They're all good pranks. They're not anything dangerous, but they're funny. So so Steve Stahl, love you, buddy. So I'm not gonna tell all the stories, Steve, because I know he's like, oh Jesus, if I tell this story. But so Steve and I, freshman year, Steve, I don't know what it was, but my roommate Pat, he was like, he would hang out with Pat, but he wouldn't hang out with me as much, hang out with Pat. So we had these little cracks under our doors that you could get something under. So I said to Pat, I said, go down and talk to Steve, and I'm gonna put my legs on both sides so he can't see my shadow. And so he says, Steve, can you let me in? He goes, Dan's here. And he's like, no, he's not. And he's like, no, I know that he's here. He's like, I can see a shadow, and I don't know how he could see it. So I said, all right, Steve, I'm going back to the room. I came back, I filled up a glass of water, and he's talking. He's like, he almost opened the door. He's like, I don't believe you. I don't know. And he's like, Pat, I'm gonna let you in, but I think Dan's here. So he got down on the ground. He looked under, and he goes, I can see his feet. And I said to Pat, I was like, keep talking. And as he did it, I got down really low, I got the water, and I threw it, and his words were, I could see him, oh! So that was fun, and I do a lot of impressions, so he came back to the room, and I said to Pat, I go, he's gonna declare war. So Pat was sitting on my side, I was sitting on his side, and I'm facing out, and this is my door. And Steve comes in the doorway, and he goes, it's on. And I did my Godfather impression, I leaned back and I was like, you're putting it down in blood, you're putting it down. In real life, you're gonna sketch it like that. If you're gonna and I said to him, I was like, I said, are you writing it in blood? And he said, yeah. And I said, I'm no longer responsible for anything I And I wasn't. And so I did something I saw on Saved by the Bell. He had a janitor's closet across from him. I roped his door to the janitor's closet and he couldn't get out for 2 hours. And it was fantastic because every time he tried to yell at me, the door would shut. So you could just hear, "Dan, go, I swear." And you just hear, and you keep hearing the slam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I did it a second time, and the second time was outrageously, he was very bad. And then there were some other things that I will leave off the family show that I did that also involved Steve, but it was kind of his fault. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and Steve was probably at the wrong end of a lot of those jokes. But we're still friends, so shout out to Steve. All right, Alex. What is the best prank or joke that anyone's ever played on you?
I think it had to do with my car one time. I think my friends know that I'm very, overprotective of my car. I don't like no drinks, no nothing. I don't like nobody messing with my car. That's like a kid to me. Like I really enjoy my car. And of course, being back home, stupid friends, of course I let them have McDonald's in my car one day. And I think one of them, they opened the cap of their drink and they pretended to spill the drink.
Yeah.
It didn't actually spill.
Yeah.
They pretended to spill the drink and all their food, and I slammed the brakes. I turned around. I started cursing at them. I started getting so and I looked, and I don't even know how he did it, because you usually hear like the spill of the ice and falling on the ground, and I heard something just like that, and they played it off so well. And it was nothing, and I cursed at them for nothing, and they looked at me like a different person after that. And they don't understand my pain, because it's like, you're not gonna be the one cleaning it up. I gotta take care of my car. So that was probably like, they did it on purpose. It was probably one of the it was a good prank, but I made it very clear, don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again, please.
And some people are interesting about their vehicles.
Yes, I'm one of them, definitely.
Okay. Sean, you got the last question for me?
All right, let's see.
You said you had one.
So, we talk about making history with this, what's it like being with us making history? You do it every time?
It's one of the greatest moments of my life. I think about it all the time. Like when you guys are practicing in games and whatnot, if I'm not physically there, I'm thinking about it. Like I honestly, to me, I'll just be going through something in a day and I'm like, it's the Bobcats' first baseball season and I get to do this. I get to be a part of this. So, I mean, to me, it's so cool to be there for day zero. Like I love it. I love being here. I love the look of this today. I love everything about today. Honestly, like y'all are getting a hug when we're done. So, but this, it's an honor. I mean, it's a privilege. To me, it's when I look up at my grandfathers and my grandmother's up in heaven, I could just see them kind of go like, like that's our baby. Like that's you fought for moments like this, because so many times in my life, especially in the media, which is such a hard place to find a friend.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I can tell you that when so many people want you to feel like you're not good enough, you don't have enough listeners, you don't have enough viewers, you don't have this, I beat you at this, I'm better at this, or if I do something, they steal it, they lie about it, they bury it. I mean, I've seen so many things that have happened, even this week, with having an exclusive conversation with somebody and just seeing how people reacted to it. There was so much good, but there always has to be a little bit of evil. Yeah. And I said something to my dad, and my dad goes, "Why do you care?" He was like, "You told that kid, no matter what he says, people are going to speak for him. Take the advice that you said to this kid. And understand, if you're doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing." But I'm like, I don't need a pat on the back. I just, you would like people to say, okay, you know what? And I'm never going to get an award from the media. Nobody in the media is ever going to reach out to me and say, hey, we appreciate it. And it's coming to terms with that and caring about, and you know what? I do have an ex-wife, and they say take something positive from everything. One of the greatest things, and even though we're not together, she gave me a piece of advice that was incredible, and I say it to myself all the time. I was at a practice for a football team, and I said, I'm sitting here, I texted her, I'm like, I'm sitting here with the media, and everybody's in their cliques, and almost everybody's talking, but nobody's talking to me. Like I have leprosy, like I have a disease. And I'm sitting here and she goes, let me ask you a question. When the players come off the field, what do? I said, they say hi to me, they smile, they shake my hand. She said, do they do it with anybody else? I go, not really, maybe one person. She said, what do the coaches do? I said, they go, Dan, hey, what up, D? She said, do they do that with other people? I said, not really. She said, the coaches and the players that you talk to have a positive effect on the trajectory of your career. The people that are sitting next to you in the media that have no respect for you, would you ever eat dinner with them? Would you ever lay next to them in a bed? Would you ever take them on a vacation? No. So she said, start focusing on the people that matter and know that every time a player or a coach gives you a hug and treats you like family, that's when all the media people are stabbing you in the back. So you must be doing something right because the coaches and the players will go to bat for you. I said this to somebody last night. I go, if God forbid anything happened to me, at my funeral, there would be coaches and players speaking. And I don't doubt that. And I want to live to be 100 plus. I do. And I hope I get to, by the grace of God. But she just told me, change your perspective. So I'm better at it now, but I have a big heart, and I will never understand how someone can hurt a good person. And I'm not a perfect person, but there's never been a day in 37 years where I've wanted to hurt somebody. And I don't understand when people want to cause pain, just because like the person that would punch me in the mouth is the same person I would save in an alley. And it's like, you realize that after me, the person that comes behind me might just let you die in that alley. And so I never understand why you hit the person that loves everybody. But God promised one thing in the Bible. He said, if you follow my son, you'll be persecuted on earth. You know, your riches are in heaven, they're not here. So if you're trying to be a good person and you're getting persecuted, as weird as it sounds, you're doing the right thing. And it's hard, but if you say to yourself every day, am I getting nailed to a cross? Are there thorns on my head? Are people spitting on me, whipping me, throwing stones at me and calling me names? You know, will I ever go through that? No. So if they could hurt perfection, I guess they can hurt imperfection. And if they're hurting imperfection, it says more about them than it says about me. And what I took my whole life was the opposite. I was like, oh, well, if people don't like me, there must be something that I'm doing wrong. I must be a bad guy. I must be suck at my job. And it's no. People's perception of you and the way that they treat you says more about them. It's a hard thing in the middle of the night to remind yourself of, but I got you guys. And nobody's going to beat that. Nobody can. So Peake, you got the final one. I'm going to bring some comedy here.
Oh, yeah.
You got 3 comedians that you can go on vacation with. You're going to take the 4 of us, and we're going to go to the Bahamas
Okay.
with 3 comedians. Who are we taking?
Adam Sandler's got to be up there.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's got to be in there.
Okay.
I don't know. Who you got? Like, that's
All
if
right.
we're all going, it's a team decision here. Then.
My generation is Kevin Hart. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's like the guy around my generation.
Yeah.
Even though he's a little older, like,
Yes.
and then the older one is Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle.
And he's on a different level. Like he's on a different level.
I think we can all agree on those.
Yeah, I think we definitely.
Yeah. So that's the bucket list. Of all bucket lists that I have, that's the one that's almost done. I've seen almost every comedian I ever want to see.
Really?
So Kevin Hart, Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan, Dave Chappelle, Charlie Murphy before he passed away, George Lopez, Jeff Dunham, who has the puppets, Joe Coy.
You see Bert Kreischer?
No, but I know who he is.
Okay.
I just had somebody like say you got to watch him, and then he popped up on my Netflix because they're always listening. So
Yeah, they are listening.
So, but I do want to give a shout out really quick here, and this is a funny part of it. So I want you guys to take this with you, however you want to take it. As a single man, I went out on 4 dates with a girl. I don't care if she's watching. I went over to her house. She put on Apple TV Plus, and she put on Ted Lasso. And they said, you got to watch it because they're like, you know, you're a funny guy, like you love inspiration, so you're going to love the show. I do love the show. She came over to my house. She had it on the TV. And the next morning I woke up and I went to turn it on. I go, did you log out? And she's like, yeah. And so I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? And she goes, wait a minute, are you still talking to me because you want to watch Ted Lasso? And I was like, no. And 20 minutes later I said, where the password at? So, one of my really good friends, his girlfriend, I told her this story just in passing, and she goes, Dan, I'm gonna do you a solid. Stop dating crazy women. She said, you don't have to date crazy women to get Ted Lasso, and she gave me her password. She's like, I'm gonna save you time and energy, but I love it so very much, and I'm already taking stuff from it, and the dance that he does for Wichita State, I've already stolen that a little bit.
Don't expect me to do that.
Yeah. So for Shawn Peake, Alex Garcia, as well as Maximo Santos, Evan Reynolds, myself, Dan Tortora, this has been a special edition of the Bobcat Buzz, and honestly, guys, I don't know how to end this one, because this is genuinely, not saying it, this is one of my favorite shows I've ever, not Bobcat Buzz, of anything I've done in almost 20 years, this has been a show that I really don't want to end. So can we do it again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a great one. This is really
Yeah.
fun.
Let's clap it up. Come support your Bobcats. Baseball season 1, folks. It'll never happen again. Show them love. When you see them in your local supermarket, dap them up, give them a hug, tell them you appreciate them. And guys, above everything today, thank you for being honest, open, genuine, talking about God and loving each other. Because what we did today, I can tell you from my heart, if we touched no one else's life, y'all just gave me a whole lot of faith. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you, sir.
As always,
Coach, appreciate
As
it.
always.
We'll talk with you all soon.